Protect the Shield podcast. Let's get it. So next, talking about Josh Jacobs. So he's good for doing his little tweets and all that stuff. So I thought it was interesting, the little stat that he put up about himself, which was pretty interesting. But it basically shows the most scrimmage yards before turning 25. And he put that list up. Had Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Edgerrin James, Walter Payton, LT, Marshall Faulk, and then Josh Jacobs. Those are all Hall of Famers, man. Those are that's a nasty stat right there.
That's a nasty list in itself.
That's a nasty list. That's nasty company, man. I mean, I love it though. I mean, go ahead, Josh. Do your thing, man. That's what do you guys think about that? Go ahead, Daniel.
I mean, like you said, the Hall of Fame list here. Even you could argue. I mean, Cowboy fans will say, "Oh, they're the greatest running back of all time." They would argue Emmitt, but tons of people would argue Walter Payton. This is an incredible list. That's fire. Pay him $16 million. The cap doesn't even matter. People are so worried about the cap, like it's coming out of their pocket. It's not coming out of my pocket, your pocket. You know what I mean? Why do you care so much? And think about all the teams that have won the Super Bowl over the cap. The cap is such a fake thing to be worried about.
It really is.
We've got a generational talent, a Hall of Famer to be. I mean, what are we doing?
Talk. Thank you, man. That's how I feel, man. People trip about the cap. I'm like, all these people trying to manage the Raiders' money, they can't even manage their own finances at home. Shut up.
Right?
Not you guys, but I'm just saying people in general, man. I'm like, damn, man. Like, let's. Cause honestly, there's always those teams that like somehow they're like way over the cap and they still, move money around and they still get these stars and all that. So I don't know, man.
I mean, I hope they do sign him, though. I really do. I hope they find a contract for him and sign him. I mean, he's good. He held the team last year with Devontae Adams, but it is what it is, and we'll see what happens by July 17th.
Yeah, for sure. And plus, just looking at this, I mean, this is most scrimmage yards, so we're talking about running and passing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys on here caught the ball out of the backfield. And Jacobs doesn't do it that much, but I mean, the fact that he's still up here with these guys, that's fire, man. There's really no way of going around it. The dude, I mean,
you know what I watched today just to get hype?
What?
Jacobs for Alabama catching a little screen pass.
Oh, run a boy over?
Oklahoma points him out, knocks him out of the game. Good night, touchdown.
and then walk in the end zone. That's fire, man. I'm sorry.
I watched all these running backs, Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Edgerrin James, Walter Payton. I watched all these guys growing up, and Josh Jacobs to be right there with this list is telling you to pay him. That's exactly what it's telling you to do, is pay him, because you don't see the running backs that's holding out right now or don't have contracts is on this list. Absolutely not. You just don't see it. And he's a one of a kind talent, and hopefully they can come to a deal. Hopefully they can. I don't want to get into numbers. I don't want to get into salary cap. I don't want to get into any of that. I think we talked about it so much on Nothing But Raiders podcast on Tuesday. It's all about paying the man. Like, once this boils over, then we could go back to just talk about Raiders football instead of an individual.
For sure.
Point. So because I'm at a point where you won't even hear about it on Tuesday until we actually hear some news about it again, Chris. Hopefully we don't have to talk about it on Tuesday.
No, that's fact, man. That's a fact, man. The comments is jumping today, man. The comments are jumping. Let me bring up OJ Raider, man. He's done with the cryptic tweets. You want to be a Raider or not? Stop playing with a Smokey. At some point, football needs to be played. I get what you're saying, OJ. I definitely do. But my whole thing with the cryptid tweets, I think just in this day and age, that's just part of the players' like negotiation tactic. Honestly, I mean, because a lot of them don't have that much leverage anyway. But just taking your team off of your emoji or whatever stuff like that, it gets a lot of attention, gets people talking. I don't know. I'm not necessarily against it. It's not like he's out just dogging the team. He just has some little subliminal shots that he's throwing in the air. I'm not too mad. He's not being disrespectful. That's how I see it.
I love it. The fantasy community, they hate Josh Jacobs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
and they'll be falling for his shit on his, Instagram or Twitter or whatever all the time, and they just get burnt by him. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind it. Like I said, he's just showing you. And why not let the Raiders be the team that breaks the barrier and starts paying the running backs what they deserve for all the work they do? I mean, let's do it. That's such a Raider move.
It is a Raider move.
And understanding that people fail to realize, even though they asking for this bag, they securing a future with this bag as well. Just in case, hypothetically, if I don't want to, God forbid, on any of these running backs that's looking for a bag or looking to get signed with that, but it's securing your future. It's securing your health too. You want to play on 10. If he decides to play on a $10 million franchise tag, that's not really securing his future. So you got to look at it from a health standpoint. You got to look at it from a family standpoint. He's looking at it from all aspects, not just being on the field and playing football. So when it comes to Josh Jacobs saying that, like I saw somebody in the comments say, if he gets injured and we give him that bag, this is a violent game.
Anybody can get hurt at any moment.
Right. Anybody's going to get hurt at any moment.
Yeah.
So no matter if you give Mike Evans, $90 million or $100-something million with something guaranteed and he gets hurt, then we're going to say, oh, they overpaid for him. So this is a violent game. People get hurt. Players get hurt. This is the profession that you chose. You get your bag and you play your hardest. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I just think, I don't know, man. And again, back in my day, I played a little running back and safety. So I always have like a spot in my heart for the running backs. So I know all that they do at the end of the day. Those aren't the pretty boys. Those are dudes that if you're not getting the ball, you're blocking the defensive end off the edge. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing all that dirty work. That's just not always, looked at, but, and then plus just the way the rookie contracts are, especially if you're drafting the first round, them teams can get you for a 5-year deal. Then what? Then they could be done with you, man. So therefore, that running back don't really get a chance to get that big payday.